Hello, and welcome once again to another amazing, uproarious edition of the Ocho Ortiz Wrestling Podcast. This week's podcast, once again, is sponsored by Suplex City Bitch T-shirts. Get your limited edition Suplex City Bitch T-shirts right now on Teespring. Go to teespring.com/SUP City. That's / not backslash like some idiot, me, said last week. teespring.com/SUP City. They're only available until this Thursday, so act fast and get yours now. On this week's podcast, we'll run down Raw, Smackdown, NXT, but we'll mostly be talking about the Superkick'd show that took place this past Saturday here in Toronto. Let's get things started. Josh!
Yeah, I'm not doing that again. It's not happening. I can't.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. I can't get you to do that.
Dave! There you go.
That's going to be some horrible, horrible feedback for people that are listening to this on
Why
a
are
loud
we
decimal.
doing it?
You know what? It's tradition. It's gonna become tradition.
It's tradition when we see each other or when we call each other.
And now it's gonna be tradition for our podcast because we're G's like that.
And this is why people are not going to listen to our podcast anymore.
People are listening to our podcast, Josh. We had 49 views on YouTube this past week alone. And once we actually manage to get this on iTunes, our numbers are gonna skyrocket, Josh. Skyrocket.
All right. That sounds good. So, how you doing, Dave? You all right?
You know, I'm breathing air, and life is good. You've got your Star Wars glass, drinking water.
Hell yeah! Of course, it's Star Wars, as it should be.
How's your week been, Josh?
My week was awesome. There was a new Star Wars trailer that I premiered, and I think it's amazing. Unlike you, because you have no soul. But
listen,
whatever.
I have a soul. I just wish J.J. Abrams would stop killing things. He's a terrible person, and he should never be allowed anywhere near Hollywood ever again. Fuck you, J.J. Abrams.
Whatever. It looks like it's going to be a good movie. It's going to be a great movie. I'm going to see it the night it comes out because it comes out on my birthday. So I will be seeing that. I guess Dave will not
what
be.
A horrible birthday present to yourself. I could think of
Listen,
better
that's
ways
the
to
only
spend your
thing
birthday.
I'm looking forward to in December. And the only reason I'm looking forward to my birthday in December is that movie.
Christmas is in December, Josh. Are you saying
I don't care
Are
about
you saying
Christmas.
you're not looking forward to fucking Santa Claus and elves and magical fucking decorations and lights and music? Fuck you, Josh.
Not
Christmas
really
is
anymore.
amazing. You know what?
Not really anymore.
No.
You know what? Let's get off that topic and let's talk some wrestling.
I mean, I guess. I thought this was the Christmas podcast, but let's turn it into a wrestling podcast.
I'm not doing a Christmas podcast. That's definitely not happening.
Oh, we'll do it in December. Don't worry.
Jesus.
So on to wrestling. So why don't we start a little bit with the WWE this week before we get into the Superkick'd show that we both saw last night.
Well, I was gonna run down the show first.
You know what? I think Superkick'd should be the main heart of our show tonight. So let's run down the WWE.
Let me get to my WWE notes then, because I actually have notes for this thing now. So Raw,
You had notes last week too, Josh, and then you
they
just
were
kept,
shitty notes.
and
though.
then you just kept going off and saying, "I have notes, I have notes," but your notes were no good.
But these notes are actually better. Okay, so we're starting with WWE, then we're going to start with Monday Night Raw, which came to us from the O2 Arena in London, so it was on tape delay. But I love those shows. Those shows in London are always good because of the crowd. The crowd makes those shows.
It was very much sort of a Raw after WrestleMania type atmosphere with that crowd.
Yeah, well, that's because that's where a lot of the guys who go to the Raw after Mania are from. A lot of them are from UK and stuff. But the biggest problem starting with Raw off was Michael Cole was back on commentary without even a neck brace.
Yes, Michael Cole, for those of you who may not know, was quote-unquote injured by Brock Lesnar 2 weeks ago when Brock Lesnar F5'd him. And during the show, after Michael Cole was taken away on a stretcher, they said he had a severe neck injury. I forget the exact neck injury that they stated. some sort of cervical injury.
Something with the cervical discs being hurt or something, which is pretty bad taste for them because it sounds like something happened really recently with the Paraguayo Jr. Death in Mexico with the Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, something that actually happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so first of all, it was in poor taste, I think, to do that type of an angle. But then to have him come back 2 weeks later and not even in a neck brace does not make any fucking sense. It's just pure stupidity. And at one point, one of the other announcers, John Bradshaw Layfield, brought up the fact that Michael Cole is going to issue a lawsuit against Brock Lesnar.
They didn't even get into it.
But if this was a real neck injury, any attorney would say, well, he's not really injured because he doesn't even have a neck brace 2 weeks after the incident took place.
Yeah, it did not make any sense.
So they're not selling this injury well at all. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, that was the biggest downfall of Raw and the stupidest thing that I saw. I'm like, why keep showing this man who looked like he died? His shoe was actually, like, when he got F5'd, his shoe came flying off of him at the same time.
Yes.
Why would you keep doing something like that? But whatever. That's the WWE. That's what they do. They never continue storylines, but they're continuing it, but not in a good way.
They do it half-assed.
Yes, that's exactly what they do. But Raw was pretty good.
I enjoyed the Raw show.
We're not going to run down the whole show, but we're just going to do some highlights. Highlight match, best match probably, Adrian Neville versus Dolph Ziggler. What a match. Adrian Neville, he's just absolutely amazing. Or Neville, as they're calling him now.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of Neville, having watched him in NXT, and I'm hoping that they end up building him up more, because right now, even though they're giving him top guys, they're still having him lose. So in a way, they're still burying Neville instead of really giving him a good push. They've also, because the matches on Raw and SmackDown tend to be shorter than the matches on NXT, they've really cut back on his moveset. So it's right now, every time you see a Neville match, it's basically the same 4 or 5 moves from him every time when he's capable of so much more. But the WWE just seems to be holding him down a little bit right now.
Yeah, well, when you say he's capable of so much more, we did see that and on this episode's Raw.
Oh, that move where he walked across the barricade where the fans are, and then
he did the 450 splash just from the barricade,
which Michael Cole called a moonsault.
Okay, fuck Michael Cole. Get it right. It was a 450 splash off the barricade onto Dolph Ziggler, which just looked absolutely amazing.
It was a really, really nice move. It's something that I haven't seen in a really, really long time.
Yeah, well, you don't watch the WWE anymore, but Justin Gabriel, when he was there, that was his finishing move, was the 450 splash. So I've seen it, but I've never seen it off something so, like, small or lower to the ground than as if they was doing it from the ring.
Yeah, so, that's sort of what I was alluding to. I haven't seen anyone do any high-flying moves off a barricade in a long, long time.
Yeah.
I remember seeing somebody do it probably back in the early 2000s, maybe even before that, because I think it might have been something that I saw back on the WCW product. But yeah, seeing somebody actually pull off a high-flying move off the barricade where the audience is, I haven't seen in quite a while.
Yeah, that was definitely probably the best match of the night. Ziggler ended up winning that match, and then, they were about to shake hands, and then Sheamus runs out, takes out both of them, and that's setting up Sheamus versus Ziggler
for Extreme Rules
in a match that I don't understand what it's going to be about, but that's what it is. And
have they announced?
They announced it on SmackDown.
What was the stipulation?
The stipulation for that match is a kiss me arse match.
Oh, right, where the loser has to kiss the winner's ass.
Oh, is that what it is? Did they announce that? Because I just heard the kiss me arse part and then I tuned out. I watched SmackDown, but whatever.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. Whoever loses the match has to kiss the winner's ass after the match.
So it's like the Vince thing that they used to do way back when?
Yes.
Okay.
The terrible angle that no one enjoyed is being brought back.
Great.
Yeah.
The other best thing about Raw this week was one of my favorites, who now is becoming your favorites, he's coming back, Mr. Fandango.
I really like this character. He, as somebody whose gimmick is a dancer, he's not a very good one, but he's just so goddamn entertaining to fucking watch. I love it, and the crowd really gets into it, which makes the atmosphere so much better.
That was the perfect place to do this because you could tell they're changing him from a heel to a face, and that was the perfect place to do it because most of the UK crowd is the reason why Fandango got over in the first place because of the Fandangoing at WrestleMania 29, which I was there and we were doing the Fandango going home, but I'm happy they're doing that again. He's back to his original music. They're turning him face. I like it. We get to see more Fandango.
He got up and danced on the Spanish announce table.
Not just on Raw, but on SmackDown too. He did it too.
Yep, but on Raw, he also danced wearing JBL's cowboy hat. He got up on the barricade, sort of like Neville did, only instead of doing a high-flying move, he just danced. Again, he's a piss-poor dancer for somebody who has a dancing gimmick, but he's entertaining as fuck.
Yeah. Other good thing from Raw would be the Divas Battle Royal. Just because Paige won, and I'm a huge Paige fan, even though it doesn't look like Paige is going to be getting her match at the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, it was a number one contenders match, the Divas Battle Royal. Paige ended up winning the match, but after the match, Naomi took her out and basically
threw her into the barricade like 4 times.
Yeah, viciously threw her into the barricade a couple of times. And then afterwards, she was interviewed backstage, Naomi was, and she was basically saying she's sick and tired of being overlooked when she's pinned the Divas champion Nikki Bella on numerous occasions, and yet she still doesn't get a title shot. She neglected to mention that she pinned Nikki Bella twice during Divas tag matches, which also included AJ and Paige, so I don't believe Naomi has any one-on-one victories against Nikki. She sort of neglected that, but they are sort of setting up an angle with Naomi taking on Nikki Bella at Extreme Rules by the looks of it, because they announced on SmackDown that Paige has
been told not to compete for the
medically has not been cleared to compete for the foreseeable future.
Yeah,
which leads me to believe it's going to be Naomi versus Nikki Bella at Extreme Rules, which makes no sense because right now, basically, you just turn Naomi heel, and Nikki Bella is also a heel. No one wants to see 2 heels fight for the Divas Championship. So for me, they're just really ruining the Divas Championship match at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was excited to see Paige in that match because I love Paige. I think she's great. But I understand why they're not going to do it. I understand why they got her to win the match because she's in her home country, and she, not many people win in their home country, but she got the win. And then it was, he did. Oh no, he faced Cena. Right.
Barrett took on Cena for the U.S. Championship in the Open Challenge fight.
But the other thing with Paige is like that actually turned Naomi heel, and that was the perfect place to do it if you're going to do it, because get her to take out like the hometown girl. You know why Paige is not going to be doing it either? Is because she's actually going to be shooting a movie with The Miz. They're going to be going and shooting some Christmas movie. Look, your favorite thing.
Well, it's a perfect place to turn Naomi heel, but it was just a bad time because now you're just going to have 2 heels going into Extreme Rules to face each other for the championship, and no one's going to be cheering for Naomi going in, and people already hate the Bellas, so no one's going to be cheering for Nikki Bella. It was just a really bad move.
Yeah.
But like, if I know they want to give Paige a victory in her home country, I get that. So then why not just put her in a singles match with somebody else instead of putting her in the Divas Battle Royal, and then you could put Naomi over in the Battle Royal and have her going in as a face. But the way they've set this up is just really, really stupid.
A heel versus a heel, yeah, okay. I get your point. I see what you're saying now. And yeah, that is pretty stupid now that I think about it. But other stuff that happened there wasn't really anything other that was that great on Raw. They did announce most of the stipulations for the matches
at Extreme
Rules. So Cena versus Rusev for the United States Championship match is now going to be a Russian chain match, which essentially is just a Texas bull rope match where they're tied together with chains and they have to touch all four corners in succession to win the match.
Yes.
And the other thing that was announced for that on Raw was Rollins and Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight title will now be a steel cage match, and also the RKO is banned in that match. So they both were able to put a stipulation. Obviously, Seth Rollins decided he didn't want the RKO to be in the match, so that's banned. And then Orton said, I'm going to do a steel cage, take out your assets of J&J Security,
the Authority
in general.
But here's my thing with that. It's a steel cage match. You know that they can still come out to ringside, and if Randy tries to escape through the door, they can shut the door on him and make sure he doesn't escape. If he tries to escape over the top, then they can still hold on to him to prevent his feet from touching the floor while Rollins escapes from the...
Yeah, it's not like it's a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that's where I was expecting them to go, was the Hell in a Cell. But with them setting it up as just a regular steel cage match, I already see Seth Rollins retaining the title because the Authority, even though the steel cage is there to prevent them from interfering, the Authority's still going to interfere in this match, in my opinion, and Seth Rollins, I think, will retain at Extreme Rules. But they did set it up, so it's going to be a steel cage match, as you said, and Randy Orton is banned from using his finishing move, the RKO.
Smackdown, there wasn't really anything that exciting.
It was terrible.
Yeah, there was nothing. I guess it was good. You got Cena and Bryan versus the tag team champions. It was a pretty good match itself.
That was a good match with Daniel Bryan eventually getting the pinfall victory.
Yeah, and the only other thing was they added some more stipulation to some more matches. Like we said earlier, Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus is now a Kiss Me Arse match. And then Big Show versus Roman Reigns is announced for the pay-per-view, and it's going to be a last man standing match.
Also from SmackDown, and we talked a little bit about his appearance on Raw, was Sheamus took on Adrian Neville. And again, Neville had a good match. I'm conflicted because they seem to want to keep Neville strong by putting him against top names in the WWE, but at the same time, they're not really having him beat anybody. In this instance, he won. He won via disqualification when Sheamus put him through the announce table. So, in my opinion, they're still sort of burying him, and everyone that's a fan of wrestling knows that Adrian Neville kind of sucks on the mic.
Yeah, he's not that great.
He's an extremely talented wrestler, but he sucks on the mic. So, personally, in my opinion, what I'd like to see is I would love to see the WWE put Adrian Neville with Paul Heyman. Right now, Paul Heyman's client, Brock Lesnar, is on an indefinite suspension for his rampage on Raw a couple of weeks ago.
I didn't even think about that. That'd be good. He's great. That'd be a great mic piece for him, considering he's got the talent to back it up, right?
See, basically, what I would love to see is and I have a pre-written promo worked out here.
Oh, do you now?
I'm sure Paul Heyman could come up with something much better, but essentially, I would love to see Paul Heyman come out on Raw either this Monday or even possibly the Monday after Extreme Rules, and basically have him call out the Authority. Basically have him say something along the lines of, the Authority suspended my client Brock Lesnar, but in the meantime, I have a new client who's going to be a thorn in the side of the Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, my new client is the man that gravity forgot, the new sensation, Neville. And Steph, seeing as how you essentially hurt me financially by suspending my client Brock Lesnar, thus preventing us from working and making money, my new client Neville is going to hurt you. But he's not going to hurt you financially, Steph. He's going to hurt you emotionally. My client is going to come after your family. Specifically, he's going to come after your husband, Triple H. And your husband and you are going to learn exactly why my client is called the man that gravity forgot. He could come out of nowhere. Maybe Triple H is walking to the production truck out back, and Neville surprises him with an aerial assault off the roof of the truck. Maybe Triple H walks out here to address the crowd, and Neville jumps down from the Titantron to surprise him and hit him with an attack from there. The point is, Stephanie, with my new client, your husband is no longer safe. And my thought with Neville basically going after, putting him in an angle with Triple H, is you're giving him a top guy to actually work an angle with instead of just putting him with random people week after week. And you're putting him in an angle against the guy who's basically helping to create and market NXT to what it is right now, Triple H. NXT is essentially Triple H's baby.
Yep.
So let's see him really push his NXT guys by putting Neville in an angle with him. Maybe you lead it up, maybe you build up the angle and have them have a match at SummerSlam. That's what I would personally like to see. Maybe you can get some other current NXT guys in there. Like
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn would be great, but I'm thinking maybe somebody that's already had WWE experience.
Rhino.
The way that they sort of set up Raw this past Monday is that it looks like Kane might be leaving his position in the Authority. So I would actually like to see Triple H bring up Alex Riley and sort of have Alex Riley as his sort of personal bodyguard.
Right.
Because they have Alex Riley doing this rage gimmick right now, right?
Yeah.
So you can have Neville keep attacking Triple H, trying to get him into a match, and Triple H keeps on sending the rage monster Alex Riley out there to attack Neville in Retribution. And it really sort of promotes your NXT brand and builds for the future. That's just my thoughts on what they can do with Neville. But I definitely think he needs a mouthpiece because he's not good on the mic. So I definitely think that they need to put him with Heyman, no matter who they end up making his opponent.
Yeah, I agree with the putting him with Heyman thing. That'll be perfect. It'll get him over well. Putting him with Triple H, that's a little early, I think, for him, right? But with the rage thing, that would be pretty cool. But bring back Alex Riley, yeah, I think that'd be fine. Triple H.
Even with that, right? Like it doesn't. The match with Triple H doesn't even have to be at SummerSlam. Like, you can build it over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
And have it maybe even at Survivor Series. And in the meantime, you have Neville go against mainly Alex Riley as Alex Riley does his rage gimmick, and then also go against other guys in the Authority. Maybe you put him against Big Show, although they probably have him squashed.
Or J&J.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking. Maybe you have J&J Security get back in the ring and wrestle.
Yeah.
But eventually I would like to see the whole thing end with a blow-off match against Triple H.
Yeah, no, that'd be a good first actual program for him. I think that'd be good. But since we're talking so much about NXT, let's go into our next segment of NXT Notes.
Nice segue, Josh.
Right?
Very nice segue. I like that.
I think so. So tonight's show was a pretty good show. Our first match, we had the recently released CJ Parker versus...
Okay, for those of you who don't watch NXT, CJ Parker 2 weeks ago asked for and was granted his release from his WWE contract. Now, NXT shows are pre-taped in advance, so this was pre-taped before he left NXT.
Yeah, this is about a month ago, it was pre-taped.
But they still decided to go ahead and show that match. CJ Parker versus Solomon Crowe.
I fucking hate Solomon Crowe.
Could you not have put anything else there as filler to start the show? Like, even just have somebody cut a promo and put it there as your opening thing to start the show. Everyone knows CJ Parker. Everybody that watches NXT already knows CJ Parker is gone. So it made no sense to keep that match on television this week, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. It was an okay match, I guess. I hate Solomon Crowe.
That gimmick is terrible.
Yeah, the hacker. That's so dumb. we have, like, in Toronto, there's a actual independent wrestler named Scotty O'Shea, who is like that's his gimmick as the hacker Scotty O'Shea. But he comes out with like keyboards and stuff. His is kind of cool. Solomon Crow's it just sucks. I don't like it.
Solomon Crow is a goofy looking motherfucker,
right? When I first heard the name Solomon Crow, I thought this guy was gonna come out with like face paint, kind of like a Sting thing, or looking like a Sean O'Hare type guy.
Yeah,
not what the fuck he looks like,
or even sort of like Raven.
Yeah. Like a Raven type character.
The one good thing that I've enjoyed from Solomon Crow that I've seen wasn't even something he's done in NXT. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's actually a shoot interview with Solomon Crow. He was under a different name at the time. I can't remember.
Sami Callihan.
Yes, yeah, under his actual name, Sami Callihan. And so it's a shoot interview from, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and he's talking about how he shit his pants mid-match during one of his matches.
I have not seen this.
It's one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. And that's when that's the best thing about a wrestler, then you know he's not fucked. Really a great wrestler.
You're fucked. But he won his match tonight, and
so far he's won all of his matches.
Hasn't he only had like 2 matches, and both against CJ Parker? Or no, he's had a third one.
Has it been 2 or 3?
He had 3 because 2 of them he won with that stupid splash off the ropes. That's really dumb. But this one he won by submission, which it looked alright, bending the Neo across the back of the neck. It looked better than the stupid splash that he does.
I didn't know what the fuck it was. I don't know. I don't like this gimmick.
It's not going to go over well. It's not going to go far. They
need to come up with something new for him fast. Maybe just have him be the guy that shits his pants in the match.
Yeah, maybe. Match number 2, which is actually a match that I totally forgot about. Baron Corbin came out against, I don't remember his name, he was a jobber, that's all I'm going to say. Do you remember what his name was? Because we just watched it. Any idea?
Steven something.
They
have him billed as a former ex-Marine.
Okay, well, Baron Corbin came out, typical Baron Corbin match, crowd starts chanting. Baron Corbin won with, I think it's called the End of Days in 29 seconds.
End of Days, his finishing move.
That's it. 29 seconds. It's
actually a pretty impressive finishing move. I'm a fan of the finishing move. I don't know if I'm a fan so much of Baron Corbin, but I do like that finishing move.
Yeah, well, they're going to be high. He's a big guy, so they're going to like him. They're going to push him, right?
They love the big guys.
Yep. Match number 3 is a tag team match with the new Team Angle, as I was calling them.
That... What?
Match number 3 is Angelo Dawkins and Sawyer Fulton versus Big Cass and Enzo.
Oh, I thought that match happened after Blue Pants versus Dana Brooke.
No, that was first. Don't get ahead of ourselves. Okay. I'm trying to get away from that stupid Dana Brooke.
I thought my memory, my short-term shitty memory has the Brooke Blue Pants.
Really? Because we just watched that show like less than an hour ago.
Yeah, my short-term memory is fucked, and you know what? It'll be like 4:20 in like an hour and a half. So fuck off, Josh.
All right, so. Yeah, it was a tag team, Angelo Dawkins and Sawyer Fulton versus Big Cass and Enzo Amore. Enzo came out. They did his usual thing, which is I love it. I'm sitting here saying it with them, and it was okay match, but that match was just placement to get Blake and Murphy out to give.
Enzo is a total beast on the mic. Gotta get that out.
What was the first thing he said? Something Skywalker. I don't remember what it was, but it was awesome.
Something Talker Skywalker.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but it was awesome. He kept saying like these one things about what he is, and then all you hear is the crowd going, "How you doing?" Right? And it was good.
The Jordan of jabbing, that was fucking fantastic. I love that one.
That was pretty good. But during the match, like I was saying, Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy came down to the ring and gave Carmella some flowers, and that seemed to be more of the focus than the actual match of Carmella just smelling the flowers.
And for those who are unfamiliar with NXT, basically what happened was a couple of weeks ago, Cass was fighting, I think it was Murphy in a one-on-one match.
I don't know, they look the fucking same to me.
Yeah, Cass was fighting either Blake or Murphy in a one-on-one match back in their show in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, the On-Up Classic, yep.
And Carmella at one point got up on the ring apron and she got knocked off and she had a knee injury, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Worst acting for a fake knee injury I've ever fucking seen. But so ever since then, they've been doing this angle where Blake and Murphy have been giving Carmella presents as a way of apologizing to her. A few weeks ago, they bought her jewelry. This week, they brought her out flowers. But it really seems like they're doing this to sort of tease dissension between Carmella and Cass and Enzo.
Which is fine. If Carmella wants to leave that little group, I'm fine with that. I don't want to see Carmella. I don't want to hear her talk. Enzo and Cass are great without her. It doesn't matter if she's there or not.
We were discussing this last night. Carmella is terrible on the mic. I think she has potential as a wrestler. She's not that great yet, but I mean, this is NXT. This is basically your developmental system. Yeah. So I think she'll get there as a wrestler. I just hate her on the mic. She is terrible at cutting promos. Get her away from the mic. Get her away from Enzo and Cass. But have them win the NXT tag team titles, because I will be extremely pissed if they don't win. If Enzo and Cass don't win the tag titles.
Yeah. Well, you say I guess she does have some potential in the ring, but she's just horrible on the mic. But leading into bad potential in the ring is the next match of Dana Brooke versus old Blue Pants, Dave's favorite.
The new love of my life.
Blue Pants. She comes down.
Well, she's up there with Bayley. Bayley is still the main love of my life, and then old Blue Pants is a very close second.
Yeah, Blue Pants comes down to the ring, and she has Big Cass doing the Price is Right theme song, da 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 da, and it's so funny, and it's great that she comes out. She starts doing like a little dance to it now. It's pretty funny.
Because originally when she fought in NXT for Carmella's in-ring debut,
that was what,
she had no music, so
she had no name.
She had no name, so Cass basically called her old Blue Pants, and when she came down to the ring, Cass just did his own little rendition of the Price is Right theme song, and now they've stuck her with the name and stuck her with the theme song, and it's phenomenal. I love it.
It's pretty good.
I love cheesy things when they're done right, and this is a cheesy thing done right.
Yeah. Dana Brooke, though, this is her debut match, and God, was it bad. Was it just awkward when she was coming down to the ring?
It was awkward all throughout because she just kept touching her body. I don't know if she was trying to sell herself to me as a fucking wrestling heel or if she was trying to sell me pornography.
Right? Because I told you, like, I was on the phone.
I was sort of half expecting her to go under the ring and just pull out a bunch of her previous adult film DVDs and just start handing them out to the crowd, or like fucking promoting them, saying that they're now available on the WWE Network app for $9.99. But yeah, it's just of all, she came out to the ring just touching herself more than anyone should fucking touch themselves, even when they're pleasuring themselves. And then it got worse after the match. First of all, I love Blue Pants, and I think she's very athletic and very talented. But she does her own thing. She's not a WWE contracted star. She's basically there to job to people that they want to promote as up-and-comers. So
but she has a win over Carmella.
So that's basically her job. She's not there to really go over too often. So she was basically there to put over Dana Brooke, even though, in my opinion, Blue Pants has a better gimmick, has better wrestling skills, and I haven't heard her on the mic, but I'd be willing to bet that she's a better talker than fucking Dana Brooks. But anyways, Dana Brooks wins this, and I thought she couldn't touch herself any more than what she did when she first came out to the ring. But man, she went like full throttle fucking thought stripper when after the match, like fucking touching her ass.
You're right. You're right, because that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, is this girl a stripper or is she a wrestler? I don't understand it.
Honestly,
like they're building her for weeks. They've been building her as this like athletic girl who's promoted and like.
There's no question she's athletic. She sucks right now. Her ring work really needs a lot of work. But there's no question she has great athletic ability. She just needs to stop touching herself so frequently.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, I was expecting there to... I mean, the WWE is just promoting all these new shows on their network anyways. Like Jerry Springer is going to be on the WWE network. The Chris Jericho podcast is now on the WWE network. honest to God, after that Dana Brooke match, I honestly expected it to have a promotional spot for WWE After Dark for when only the adults are around.
Jesus Christ, the first thing they'll probably put up would be First Night in China, One Night in China or some shit like that. Nobody wants to watch that.
Who really has the rights to that? Does China have the rights, or does Sean Waltman X-Pac have the rights? Because he'd probably be all for it, because it would be more fucking exposure for him. But, oh god, Dana Brooke is awful. Fucking, just god-awful. I hope they do something to... Just fucking get her in the backstage, and tell her, stop touching yourself. Stop it. You're not fucking doing a live sex show on stage.
You're not Edge and Lita, okay?
Like, fucking, I don't know. What's she gonna do next? Come out with a donkey next week and start fucking dry humping it? Like, I don't know.
Are we watching wrestling, or are we watching Clerks too? I don't know. But
you know what? It wouldn't be so bad if it was Clerks 2, because at least fucking Kevin Smith would be fucking promoting Dana Brooke, and it might actually do well.
I love Kevin Smith. I'm excited. He's making Mallrats 2, which is one of my favorite movies. I'm excited for that.
But fucking enough with Dana Brooke.
Enough with Dana Brooke.
Fucking stripper wannabe fucking bodybuilder.
Now,
terrible.
I don't remember if it was before this or if it was after, but I do remember that we had a promo from Alex Riley.
I think it was before this.
It was probably before, but I remember we had a promo from Alex Riley saying that next week he will be in the ring and he wants to fight Kevin Owens again. Why? You've already lost. Owens already beat you. Shut up. Just keep wrestling. I don't want to see you face Owen again, unless Owens just absolutely destroys you and takes you out like he was going to do again before Neville Balor came out last time.
Well, and I this is the thing too, right? This ties me back to what I was saying earlier with Neville. I think you have Riley do one last. If I was booking it, I would have Riley do one last match in NXT against Owens. I would have him lose, but he's doing this whole gimmick where the rage that is there, the hunger to get back into wrestling after such a long layoff is there. So I think you have him lose to Owens, and then you bring him up to the main roster, and then you put him in that program that I would love to see with Triple H and Neville, and you have him sort of be Triple H's bodyguard.
Yeah.
But he's not going to win against Kevin Owens. Unless they make it a non-title match.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't think he's going to win against Kevin Owens because they're trying to keep Owens strong.
Yeah, see, here's the thing with that, too, is I don't know if this week's NXT... I think this week's NXT coming up has already been taped, because I think they're doing tapings either. I don't know if they're doing tapings either. I think they're doing tapings this week, because if they're doing tapings this week, then Owens won't even be fighting because he's still injured, right? He just got that surgery about a month ago, and it's about less than a month ago, and it's about at least 6 weeks recovery time, right? So he should be good to go for the May the May special that they're going to be doing. They haven't announced it yet, but the rumors are that it's going to be around May 20th is going to be the next NXT special. So we'll probably get, I'm assuming, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for the championship match again.
Skipping a little ahead of yourself. It might be Rhino. We haven't run down that match yet, Josh.
But I'm just saying.
You called me out for skipping ahead to Blue Pants and Dana Brooks. I'm just saying. Hang
on. Yes, Rhino was saying he wants to go. However, Sami Zayn is the former champion, which means he still has a rematch in his contract, so he still gets the rematch regardless of whoever decides they want to come out and say, I want to be next in line, you have to go through me. Yes, the next match is the main. That brings us to the main event of Sami Zayn versus Rhino, but still, technically, Sami Zayn is number one contender because he has not got his rematch yet.
What I loved in this match too is they kept building it up as a number one contenders match for.
Did they really? Because I didn't catch that.
Oh yeah,
I just watched the match.
There were a couple of times where they, at least twice, maybe 3 times, where they said it was a number one contenders match. And then at one point in the match, one of the announcers, I can't remember who, said, you gotta think whoever wins this match would be put right in the thick of the title hunt contention picture
with a victory here. I'm just thinking, well, of course, you've been building this as a number one contenders match. Why wouldn't the winner be put in the thick? That's what a number one contenders match is.
Yeah, that's true. But it was a good match. Sammy was actually able to get Rhino up for the Blue Thunder Bomb, and Rhino's a big guy compared to Sammy, so that was pretty impressive.
Sammy's Canadian. He probably fucking ate poutine and drank maple syrup before he went out.
Nice. The end of the match came when Sammy was coming out of the corner. Rhino was going for the gore, but Sammy sidestepped him. Rhino went headfirst into the turnbuckle, gets up, turns around, and Sammy just runs in, hits him with that, what is it called? The haluva kick, I think they call it. I know when it was Ring of Honor.
I can't fucking pronounce it.
When it was in Ring of Honor, it was called the Yakuza kick, but I'm pretty sure it's called the haluva kick now. Sammy gets him, gets the pin. He's not announced as a number one contender, but most likely that's what we're going to get, which we should be getting because that should be a good match again. And that ends NXT, which means that brings us to our main event segment that you wanted to talk about.
The Superkick'd show, live from Toronto this past Saturday night, April the 18th. This is the third Superkick'd show that you and I have gone to, Josh. This one was actually also raising money for Princess Margaret Foundation for cancer. Mainly, one of the main reasons behind that is one of the superstars in Superkick'd, Ashley Six, battled cancer and won his battle with cancer and came back a year ago to the profession he loves after a long layoff due to his cancer battle.
Yeah, it was a great show. I loved it. I love going to these shows, and
they do a phenomenal job. It's a fun atmosphere. It's pretty cheap to get in. It's reasonable.
Yeah, it's only $20.
Yeah.
$20 for general admission. I think it's $50 for the VIP tickets. It was a fun time. We got there just as the show was starting. We got there right at 8 o'clock, and the very first match was a triple threat match.
Yeah, we actually caught a bus that went the right way this time instead of getting fucking turned around.
The last time we went to this specific venue, we didn't know that the one bus that we were getting on. We knew what station we were going to. We knew what bus we were getting on. We didn't know that the bus goes north and south. We just thought it went south. So we hopped on the bus, and then when I realized, I'm like, shit, we're going the wrong way. We had to get off, and then we decided to get some food, and yeah. But very first match was a triple threat match. Do you remember the other two guys? Because I don't remember their names. Johnny Atlas.
Playboy Johnny Atlas.
Playboy Johnny Atlas.
So it was Playboy Johnny Atlas versus Orlando Christopher versus Shane Saber in a triple threat match.
Yeah, great match. I love Shane Saber. He's awesome. The guy can wrestle, and his theme song, because he comes out to Skyfall, but it's done by a rock band, and it just sounds really, really awesome. And because he usually comes out with his partner Kirk Warmack, because they're the Goat Brigade in Smash Wrestling and a couple other places. But he came out alone this time in a triple threat, and he won the match. It was a really good, really, really good opening match from what we saw when we got there. Yeah, that was a good match. Match number 2, we had the man who put the entertainment back in sports entertainment, RJ City, versus Dave's favorite of
Space Monkey, who I love this gimmick. First of all, he's a monkey astronaut. How can you not love a monkey astronaut who wrestles? It's phenomenal. But in addition to that, when he comes out in a fucking full spacesuit, fucking like helmet, everything, and he comes out to Biff Naked Spaceman, which is such a throwback song, and it's so great and so fucking catchy. It sticks in my head every time I watch this guy wrestle. But I love Space Monkey. It's one of my favorite gimmicks in wrestling at the moment.
Yeah, Dave was so happy. During intermission, Space Monkey was out there. You got to talk to him for a little bit. It was a good match. RJ City, he always works the heel. He's always the heel, but he works it so well. He's so good at what he does. I don't know if how many people have actually seen RJ City. He was on Splat-A-Lot at one point, and he does some comedy shows here in Toronto. He's so good at what he does. And playing the heel, towards the end of the match, Space Monkey was on the top rope. He was about to do a jump off the rope, but RJ kicked the ref into the ropes, which made Space Monkey fall down, and the ref kept going, "What are you doing?" And RJ's like, "I didn't do nothing. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything." And then Space Monkey got RJ down, went for the pin, and the ref counted 1, 2, 3 really fast and walked out. And RJ's like complaining that was a fast count, but that's what he gets when he's pushing the ref, right?
There were actually 2 spots besides that in this match that I really loved and killed myself laughing at.
Oh, I know one you're talking about now. I forgot about that.
There was one spot where Space Monkey grabbed his helmet that he comes out to when he's doing his entrance. He threw it at RJ City. RJ City caught it, and then Space Monkey did, what was it?
A drop kick.
Standing drop kick. I thought that was a great spot. It's the first time that I've seen Space Monkey use his helmet in a match. But in addition to that, there was another spot where RJ City and Space Monkey both knocked each other to the ground, and the ref was doing his traditional 10 count to allow both fighters to try and get back to their feet. And Space Monkey grabbed a banana and started eating it to get his energies to get back up. And I fucking killed myself laughing. I thought that was just brilliant entertainment.
I forgot about that spot too. I knew you were talking about the helmet match, but I forgot about that. But that was a good match. Space Monkey got the win, which we were happy. We were cheering for him. Dave loves him. Third match. Do you wanna run this one down? Because I don't have much notes on that one. Besides, it was Silesia Sparks.
Yeah, I don't really have much notes on it either. Silesia Sparks versus Joe Coleman. Joe Coleman.
Silesia is just absolutely great. Such a great wrestler. She takes on guys all the time.
And not just in this promotion. She does a lot of other indie shows around Toronto and the GTA, and she usually takes on the men. I don't know. I would love to see Superkick'd get a couple more female wrestlers in there for her to compete against. They have Jade Chung, who's part of All Black Everything. I don't know if they've had a match against each other or not yet. I would love. They did the intergender tag match at the last show we were at. It was Kingdom Tarek and Jade Chung versus Ashley Six, Psycho Mike, and Silesia Sparks.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they've done a one-on-one match against each other. But Joe Coleman comes out, and basically his gimmick is that he's like this Adonis bodybuilder type thing.
Yeah, he comes out with like powder and stuff. And
like muscle powder.
Yeah. It actually wasn't muscle powder, as we could smell later, but yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like muscle supplement powder.
Yeah. And
this is the first time that I've seen him. And
first time I've ever seen him as well.
He's so great at being a heel. He obviously did the typical heel things where, this is wrestling, women don't belong in wrestling. But he was so great in the way he said it. I thought his promos were golden. At one point during the match, well, first of all, I should preface this by saying Joe Coleman came out to the ring wearing a pair of pink sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then at one point during the match, Silesia took the pink sunglasses and was wearing them as she was beating on Coleman. She then gave them to the ref, and the ref started wearing them, and I just thought the ref looked fucking hilarious in the pink sunglasses.
It was pretty good.
But there was one part before the match where Joe Coleman made a comment, something to the effect of, "Are we even sure Silesia is actually a woman?" And that's when Silesia started.
She starts taking out her she's
looking down her.
She's looking down. Yeah, she's looking down her shorts, and she goes up to a few people, one of the crowd members, to look down, even to the ref, and even to Coleman. And Coleman's like, "I'll take a look at that later." And we're just like, well then,
it was a great spot. I thought it was a pretty funny pre-match promo type thing.
Yeah, and the end of the match was Coleman took what's supposed to be his muscle supplement powder and threw it in the face of Silesia, and I don't remember what he hit her with, but he hit her with some move, and then he got the pin, and he got the win which is I thought Silesia was going to get that win. I was hoping Silesia would get that win because I love that finisher that she does. She did it at the last show and at the Grado Does Canada show, where she just gets the guys on, like, she gets them for the electric chair, and then she does the electric chair, but she also does a bridge and pins them at the same time, and I just think that move looks great.
It's a really good move. Plus, I love her theme song, so I would have personally liked.
Yeah, she's got her own theme song that someone likes. I don't know who it is, but it's a rapper just singing about Silesia Sparks. She's got a Trish Stratus mention in it. It's a great thing.
We should mention that a lot of the guys that do these Superkick'd and indie shows use sort of popular music that they come out to.
Yeah, like Grado when Grado was here, and
he was Madonna's Like a Prayer.
Yeah, and then what's his name? Saber uses Skyfall, and Michael Elgin uses the theme song from Sons of Anarchy.
Space Monkey, as I previously mentioned, uses Biff Naked.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's unusual to sort of see an independent wrestler come out with a song that's completely original in their own.
And about them, right?
Yeah. But I love Silesia's music, and I personally just want to see her win so I could hear the music again.
You know what? I'm like that with some people. With the former Alex Vega, when he used to come out, come out to a song called, oh god, it was by, I hate that band. It's called Abandon All Ships. I hate that band. I don't remember what the song is called, but it was a good song. I always liked him coming out and always wanted him to win just so I could hear the song go again. I know what you're talking about. But after that match, it was intermission for about 15 minutes.
Actually, they announced it was about 15 minutes. It seemed more like almost half an hour.
Yeah, almost about half an hour. But it was a good intermission. They had a live DJ playing, and at that point, because the Great Hall has the downstairs and then there's also an upper balcony, and for the first half of the show, we stayed downstairs. But it was just too many people standing down there. It was
it's crowded.
It's crowded.
Really crowded
it was really hot. So we decided, you know what? Let's go upstairs to the balcony, see if there's any like seats up there. So we get upstairs and we get this one section that's just right where the air conditioner is, and it's nice and cool. We're like, you know what? This is perfect. And
it was amazing.
Yeah, it was good, and that's actually where most of the wrestlers. I kind of wanted
to pull a Dana Brooke and just touch myself to the air conditioner. It was that good.
It was good. But we got upstairs, and that's when the next match started. It was a tag team match of the Fraternity versus Kush in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Yeah,
you saw more of this match than I did because I was pretty much downstairs at the concession stand getting us food the entire time.
Yeah,
so you saw way more.
I saw a lot more of it, but I was also talking to a few people that I knew there. But I know Kush got the very first fall. And then Fraternity ended up getting the second fall. And right when you thought Fraternity was going to win, they did some good spots in that. I think there was like a whole bunch of chairs and stuff being thrown around, people getting hit. Fraternity was about to get the win. Somebody got hit in the head with a chair, and then Kush ended up getting the third pinfall and the win by winning that 2 out of 3 falls match. It was a good match. You came right at the end, I think, right?
Yeah,
right
I managed to get my food and our food and drinks.
Yeah,
and get back up there like right at the end of the match. So I pretty much missed everything except the entrances.
Yeah, it was good, but that goes into match number 5 now, which is a special challenge match, but definitely the match of the night for me. It was.
I definitely thought. I even said to you after the match was over, this should have been the main event.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be hard for the actual main event to top that.
The main event did well, but this match is definitely match of the night. It was the European sensation Tommy End taking on Unbreakable Michael Elgin of Ring of Honor, and oh man. We were just saying, like, we're going to steal a line from the Young Bucks. It was a super kick party. They were going all out in this match. You could hear them, all the kicks and everything. It was just crazy.
It really build up to the promotion's name of Superkick'd.
Yes.
There were so many amazing fucking hard kicks in this match. It was ridiculously amazing.
It was great. I'm a huge fan of Michael Elgin. I have been since I started watching him in Ring of Honor and actually in other indie shows here in Toronto before. And I was excited when I saw Elgin was going to be on this card. And I didn't know that now he comes out to the Sons of Anarchy theme song, and that was just awesome too. But they just went all out in this match. It was amazing. Elgin ended up getting the win with hitting him with the buckle bomb, and then into the Elgin power bomb, sit down power bomb. He got the pin on that, and Elgin actually grabbed a mic after it and said, not many people can go toe to toe with me and actually give me a good fight, but you can do it, and I thank you for it, and I will fight you anytime, anywhere, in Canada, USA, over in Europe, Mexico, anywhere you want to go. Come back, I will fight you again. Thank you very much. That was a great match. Definitely the match of the night.
Oh, yeah. No, by a landslide, it was a match of the night. The funny thing is, at one point, during the match, the lights, the stage lights started flickering on and off, and you and I didn't really know what was going on.
We were thinking maybe that's them. That's the crew trying to tell them, "Okay, hurry the fuck up."
Because it was a long match. It was a long match. I think it was almost.
It was probably like 15 minutes, right?
I think it was closer to half an hour. Because when they started their entrances, I looked at my watch and it was about 20 after 9. And then by the time everything wrapped up, I think it was about 9:45. So it was about 25 minutes.
Yeah,
it was a long match.
Yeah, definitely. But it was a great match, worth the time for sure. But that brings us to our main event of the evening, which was a ladder match to crown the first ever Superkick'd champion, which we had Brent Banks with all black everything versus the alternative Ashley Six. And what a match! It was just filled with spots. They had ladders. It was a ladder match, and but they just had these ladders. And essentially, at the beginning of the match, it was more of a 3-on-1 with Jade Chung and Anthony Kingdom James coming out with Brent Banks to face Ashley Six, and they kept getting involved a lot throughout the match.
Before we get to the match, can we talk about Kingdom's promo before the match?
Go ahead.
I thought that was fucking phenomenal. First of all, Kingdom came out, and usually Kingdom will rip on Ashley Six because Ashley Six is the main guy that feuds against All Black Everything. So, but because this was the show for Stand Up to Cancer, and because Ashley Six is a cancer survivor, Kingdom came out and sort of cut a promo telling people, give Ashley Six a hand. This guy's a fighter. He's been through a hell of a lot. To come back and do what he's done is an amazing job. But, of course, in typical Kingdom fashion, Kingdom giveth, but Kingdom also taketh away. And to end his promo, Kingdom basically said something along the lines of, having said that, Brent Banks is now going to do something Cancer couldn't, and that is kill Ashley Six.
Yeah.
Kingdom is just absolute gold on the mic. I thought that promo was just phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a really good promo.
He went from having the crowd on his side, which is unusual for Kingdom, to turn it back around and making everyone hate him.
Yeah, no, it was a great promo. Kingdom always does great on his promos. Good match itself. Like I said, Jade Chung and Kingdom kept getting in the match and trying to help Banks win. And this match went all over the arena.
Literally. At one point, they were fighting in the concession
Yeah, they were fighting in the concession stand, which we had to, we were up on the balcony, so we were trying to move around on the top of the balcony just to see.
As they were moving
around, because the concession stand is actually underneath a part of the balcony. So we're on the very end trying to see what's going on, but they're fighting the concession stands. They're fighting where the VIP seats are. They took all the chairs, put them down on the all into a big pile, and then Ashley went for a suplex, but Brent countered it, but then Ashley countered it, then Brent countered it, till Brent finally got it, and he got that suplex.
Was it Brent that finally countered it?
Because
where I was standing, you had a better view at that point on the balcony than I did. I was, like you, trying to move around to get better views, but my view was still obscured, so I saw them countering over and over again the suplexes, and I didn't see who ended up actually getting the suplex.
I'm pretty sure it was Brent that got that. It was a great spot, and then they're in the ring, and then some music just hits out of nowhere, and two guys walk out dressed in all black and masks, and they come out, and they look like they're trying to decide who to attack. and Kingdoms just starts yelling at them.
Well, we've seen these guys before. They were at the last show we were at. They came out and attacked the Hip Star.
Oh, right, they did.
Yeah.
I forgot about them. The Hip Star should have been on that show.
At that time, there were 3 of them. This time, there were only 2.
Yeah, so they once again, they came out, and they didn't know who to attack. They kept looking back and forth, and then Kingdom just starts yelling at them, get him, pointing at Ashley Six, and they listened. They started attacking Ashley Six. They got him. They were one of them was holding him while the other one was about to go to the top rope, but then he decided to go onto a ladder and do a leg drop from the top of a ladder onto Ashley Six. And then they're going to do some more damage. Even Brent Banks was starting to get in on this, and that's when Shane Saber and Michael Elgin and Tommy N came running out to help out Ashley Six and fight off everybody else. And then that just left Brent and Ashley in the ring again. And Brent was going for a move, and then Ashley countered it. Ashley was going to... that was when Jay Chung decided to get on the ring ropes and do the Tajiri green mist into Ashley's face, and Ashley starts going off as if he's blind. And Brent starts climbing up, almost getting that, and then but Ashley comes back, grabs him, actually puts Brent through a table, and then climbs up and grabs the 2 title belts that were hanging above the ring, and that is your first ever champion of Superkick'd Live, Ashley Six.
I still don't know what the second championship belt was. I didn't get that then. I don't get it now. I'm so confused.
What it was you might be confused, but for those of you who know or go to indie shows here in Toronto, Ashley is a champion for I'm pretty sure he was the SCL, the Squared Circle Live champion, and Brent Banks was the last ever fight champion. So that's what I guess you could say it was kind of like a unification match. But Ashley Six won that coming out, and he got in the mic, said thank you to everybody. Starts talking about Michael Elgin, saying thank you, as he's been one of his best friends. Elgin doesn't do much indie shows anymore, but thank you for coming out.
Basically Elgin being here was a favor to Ashley Six.
Yeah, for being here for the cancer show, saying look at this guy Shane Saber, thank you for coming out, and this guy's like the future of the independents right now. And thanks Tommy N, because he's the first time he's ever met Tommy. But it was a good match, and then they announced that the next match... Well, they announced it earlier in the show, but Ashley announced it again.
They announced it a couple times throughout the show.
They announced it throughout the show that at the next show, the champion, which is now Ashley Six, will be defending the title against the Monster Abyss from TNA in a Monsters Ball match. So that's going to be coming to you from the...
What are they calling the show? It's Superkick'd Into the Abyss.
Superkick'd Into the Abyss.
May 30th.
May 30th from the Great Hall again.
1087 Queen Street West. Check it out. They put on a great show, and with Abyss being here, we are going to buy our tickets. We're actually going to buy this time. We went there and we bought tickets. This time for the show coming up, we're going to buy tickets in advance. Yeah. Last night we bought tickets at the door. This time we definitely plan on buying them in advance, because this is going to be a good show, and I expect it to sell out quickly.
Yeah, great show. I loved it. I can't wait to go to the next one.
I love every Superkick show. This is something that I look forward to each month. They put on phenomenal shows, and yesterday was definitely no different.
Yeah, definitely the best out of the 3 that we've been to, for sure. I think so.
I look forward to seeing what the new actual Superkick Championship belt is going to look like.
Yeah, that's true. I want to see what it's going to look like as well.
And with this, I would also hope that somewhere down the line there will be Superkick Tag Team titles as well. But phenomenal show.
Oh yeah, I know who you want to win that.
Oh, the Frat.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Monkey Burger. Ooh,
if they can get Monkey Burger back together on a regular basis, then that would be phenomenal.
But I will agree with you. Then the Frat definitely needs to win. Fraternity for eternity. That is their tagline. I like that. It's pretty cool. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Next week we'll pretty much be covering the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
Yes, but once again, I'm going to plug another show right now. If you are in the Toronto or Etobicoke area, more precisely, the next week is next Sunday on, what is Sunday? The 26th, if I'm right? Sunday the 26th.
Yeah.
Smash Wrestling is doing their show out of the Franklin Horner Community Center in Etobicoke, and that show is going to be absolutely amazing. They are bringing in, Smash brings in quite a few big name guys. They usually bring in Chris Hero. They brought in some Japanese.
I got a bus to catch, Josh. Let's wrap this shit up.
Wow. Okay, hang on. No, but they are bringing in the American Wolves from Ring of Honor, or the Wolves now because they're in TNA. That's what they're called now. All right, so the Art of War will be coming to you from the Franklin Horner Community Center in Etobicoke. We're going to have the Super Smash Brothers teaming with Tyler Thomas to face the Overdogs and Josh Alexander. Brent Banks will be there to face Gregory Iron. Scotty O'Shea versus Robbie E. of TNA. Formerly Alex Vega, now Tarek versus Tyson Dukes. Candice LeRae versus Courtney Rush. The Wolves, as I mentioned, will be coming to face Drew Gulak and Busick. I don't remember which one's which. And the Smash Wrestling Championship will be Matt Cross versus Johnny Gargano. So next Sunday we will be back. Sorry?
No Dana Brooke.
No Dana Brooke. Hopefully next Sunday we will be back to talk about the Smash show and the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, everybody who has listened to the first podcast. I know quite a few of you have gotten to it, but not through the whole one.
And if you're listening to this podcast, once again, you have until this Thursday, April the 23rd, to go to teespring.com/SUP City and pick up a Suplex City Bitch t-shirt.
Yes, that is our shirt that we were selling. Thank you, everybody, for buying a shirt who has bought one. Thank you for everybody who's listening to this. I am Joshua the Mexican Ortiz.
I'm Dave Speed Ocho. I'm in the corner masturbating.